Hi boys, how are you? Well, today is a new day and we're gonna continue learning about music. Remember that the name of the unit is Music in Our World. And today we're gonna learn about paragraphs of contrast. Now, I want you to see the next pictures I'm going to show you. These pictures are two instruments, so look at them and then I'm going to ask you some questions. This is a guitar and this is a violin. Now, can you tell me how are these two musical instruments alike? Well, yes, you're right. They are both stringed instruments. But what about the next question? How are these instruments different? Well, you can say that you play the guitar with your fingers. And you can say that you play the violin with your bow. So, how can we compare them? Well, I can compare this acoustic guitar with this flute. But can you tell me what are the differences between the guitar with this flute? I'm going to give you like 20 seconds so you can stop the video for you to write down differences between the guitar and the flute. Now that you wrote some differences about these two instruments, we can compare how big the instruments are, or we can compare them by the shape or the sound, the color, the musical style, how to play them, etc. So there are many ways that we can compare instruments. So in this lesson, you're going to learn how to write a paragraph of contrast. When you contrast two things, you say how they are different. You can use characteristics such as this to explain how two things are different, like the shape, the color, the size, the sound. Okay? But before we start writing our paragraphs, I want you to write the following words in your copybooks. But, although, unlike, instead, in contrast. All these are words to compare two things. For example, we can use unlike. Unlike this desk, the pencil is easy to pick up. Or I can say, I play the guitar, but I don't play the violin. Now, I want you to open your student's book at page 48. We're going to look at a write model that shows an example of paragraph of contrast. The model will help you understand how to write your paragraphs. Paragraphs of contrast show the differences between things. You can use facts and describe details to contrast different characteristics. You can also use words like but, although, unlike, while, instead, and in contrast to show things are not the same. Now, we're going to read a paragraph about two ways to compose music. How does the writer show they are different? underline the words used. Composing then and now. In the past, composers traditionally created their music with paper and pen. But now, technology, such as computers and phone apps, is changing how music is made. Although some composers still write by hand, more and more are using these new tools. Before, a composer would write notes on lined measures of music. In contrast, apps let the composer hum a melody and then the app write a musical note. Many people think that composing music was more difficult in the past. When composers wanted to make changes as they wrote, they had to stop and rap out the note. It was a slow, messy process. Some new apps, unlike old rappers, make making corrections easy. These apps can show music as a moving stream of color. To make changes, the composer can pull and twist the music with his or her fingers on the screen. While traditional composers are busy cleaning ink from their fingers, modern composers can write more songs instead. Now, after reading the paragraphs of contrast, I want you to use this Venn diagram to organize information for your writing. You're going to draw this Venn diagram in your copybooks. So, I want you to think about the two styles of music or two musical instruments you're going to write about. Write the names of each style or instrument in the circles. How are the styles or instruments alike? Write your ideas in the middle. How are they different? Write your ideas under the lines in each circle. Okay? Now, you can start writing your paragraphs of contrast. Remember to use the words learned, that they are going to help us to compare the two instruments or the two different styles. Okay. I want you to write two paragraphs. Okay. Remember to use the words learned and that you are comparing two music styles or two instruments. Remember to use also the Venn diagram. All this, you're gonna write your two paragraphs in your copybook. Okay? When you finish writing your two paragraphs, I want you to continue in your workbook. Open your workbook on pages 36 and 37. And these activities are related to the paragraphs of contrast. Okay? So, continue with this activity. Well, this is everything for today and see you next class. Bye bye and regards to your family. See you.